Hello everyone. In today's video we're going to be starting the very first blocks in our mystery quilt block challenge. This is totally free. You can go to the National Quilters Circle website and sign up. They'll send you an email every Monday and then it will give you the cutting instructions and the next block. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be 7 weeks long. So this is our first week and it's very simple block. You do not have to be an experienced quilter to make this quilt. Another thing about this quilt is the designer, Colleen, she designed it to only be 2 fabrics. So you just need a light and a dark, something that's contrast, okay? So let's get started. Now remember, this is a mystery quilt block challenge, okay? So each week we will get new information to make the next block in this quilt. This is a very generous size quilt. It's a queen size quilt that should measure about 90 by 90 depending on your seam allowances. Okay, so it's very simple. All you need to do is pick your background fabric and your contrast. All right, and then here is the yardage. Now the background yardage does include the binding. She said 3/4 of a yard of that is for the binding. So if you want your binding to be different than your background, you can minus 3/4 of a yard off of that background yardage, okay? So pictured here are the 2 fabrics that I chose to use for my quilt. So the beige with the black flowers I'm going to use as my background because she did mention in a video that we'll have some 12-inch wide strips that we'll be cutting. So make sure whichever fabric you like the most and you want to see a lot of it, to choose that as your background. So I went ahead and chose the flowers as my background, and then the black is going to be my contrast. Okay, so let's start cutting our fabric and make our first block for week 1. This is going to be a very simple 4-patch block, okay? Everybody can do this, and this is going to be done with strip piecing, which means you're going to sew 2 strips together that are width of fabric. She says to cut 6 strips of our background fabric that's 3 inches wide and 6 strips of our contrasting fabric that is 3 inches wide. So as you can see here, I have all of my strips cut at 3 inches wide width of fabric. They're still folded in half. We're going to take one of each color and we're going to sew them together, a 1/4 inch seam all the way down the side, okay? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is cut our strip sets. As you can see, I have 6 strip sets lined up on my cutting mat very carefully. And then I'm going to take my ruler and a new blade in my rotary cutter. And I'm going to first trim off that selvage edge nice and straight. And then I'm going to cut it every 3 inches, okay? So now we have our 2 patches cut at 3 inches. Now we're going to take our 2 patches and make them into 4 patches. Okay, you will need 36 4 patches or 72 2 patches. So now we have finished our first block for week 1, our 4 patch. We should have 36 of them. You can go to the nationalquilterscircle.com and sign up for the email. They will send you an email every Monday if you would also like to make this mystery quilt along. All right, so every Monday a new block comes out and I will try and make you a video for that week. So I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Like and subscribe to Grandma's channel. Like and subscribe to Grandma's channel.